So here we have the Seaoura SR-617. It's a budget-friendly, full-spectrum 24/7 plant light for small aquariums. I have the 7-inch size. I think there's a 12-inch version as well for larger ones that uses the same really clever mounting system. So the mounting bracket itself is kind of a nice, sturdy, but like relatively grippy plastic. It's lightweight. You can mount it both ways on thicker aquariums with like the plastic rim or this rimless one like that. It works totally fine for both. It's got this really smart way of sliding onto the bracket itself, so you can either mount it a long way or you can have it mounted like I do, where it's kind of just through the back. And the thing I like the most about this, honestly, is the convenience of how I can just pull it up and it stays where it's at, and then slide it over, and I can just slide it very out of the way and do my aquascaping and whatnot, but still have some light in the tank and not have something that's either still in the way or that I have to set to the side, or that's like the stock one that came on this. It was, if you pull that out of the way, it's just pointing up and then shining in your face, and that's not nice. So yeah, very clever. I like it a lot. Something to note too on the there is some nuts in the back that you can kind of finger tighten if you really don't want it to move up and down. But if you leave them in a certain tension, it stays where it's at no matter what you do. So that's really nice. You don't have to reach back there and do that every time. It just kind of stays where it's at. So as for the timer and color settings and whatnot, it's got this nice little compact thing. It does note on the back that this is not waterproof. So obviously, yes, keep this away from water, if you can help it at least. It's got, 8 color RGB. So that looks like that's all white. Right now it's on 100%. You can see it kind of flashing there. You press it again, I think it'll go to 100, and then back to 90, back down to 80, 70, whatever, and all the way back down from there. And so here's the multiple colors. Looks like that one's blue, green, interesting, a nice pink color. Don't know how well this is going to come through on the camera, but it's sort of a yellow. It's like a light blue color. It's kind of nice. One very light green, and an orange. And I think from here it goes back to white. I believe there definitely is an RGB color shift mode. Okay, so it does have this nice RGB color cycling mode. It's very slow and smooth, which is quite nice. It's one of the ones where you can barely tell that the colors are changing, and it doesn't flicker or anything like so many other ones I've seen. But anyhow, I don't usually use that mode. I almost always use the really convenient 24/7 full spectrum mode. Anyhow, so in that mode for the all white, or any of those colors, or even the RGB fade, you can set a timer for it. As you can see, the light turned off, and it's got a nice, it flashes and indicates what the timer setting is, so that's nice. Tells you what it's at as well. It looks like on this one, it seems to slowly fade on as well, because it is at 90 or 100% right there. I can tell it's very slowly getting brighter, so it must slowly fade on and then slowly fade back off, as to not kind of shock the fish per se. So as for the 24/7 mode, all you do when you want to go into that is just press this button right here. So basically, the time that it's blinking is supposed to be the time that it currently is, where you are at, or whatever time you want it to be in this little fish tank world here. How you set that is you hold down on the 24/7 button, and then you will see all of them light up. But one of them is actually flashing. It might be a little flickery through my phone, I apologize, but you press the arrow buttons to cycle through what time it is. And so it's got 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Also, this AM, PM light is indicative of it being PM. It only lights up when it's PM. So right now, I would have it set for 9 p.m., and that's roughly about right. And as you can see, it's kind of changed to a bit of a sort of a dimmer sunset look, which is really nice. This mode slowly fades on for sunrise, has a nice orange color, and then slowly fades to whatever, the 100% full spectrum daylight. There's 3 different timer settings for the daylight. And then after that, it kind of slowly fades off into like a nice sunset, and then a very dark bluish purple moonlight. It's really pretty. So once you have the time selected and set to your time, I don't believe it has a memory function, so if the power goes out, you'll have to reset that, but it's really easy. You press it once more, and you'll see a certain chunk of lights light up. And the manual indicates what those mean. So the 8 to 12 is mode 3. That is 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. when the daylight is on. You press the arrow button once more. Goes to mode 1, which indicates it flashes 6 to 12, and that one is lighting from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then lastly, there is mode 2, which 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Anyhow, once you have that selected, that parameter chosen, you just press the 24/7 button once more, and it goes back to the singular light flashing, and that is all set. And it's good to go. Yeah, overall impressions with this light so far are very good. My plants definitely seem happier already. I've only had it for about a week. I did revamp a bunch of stuff in this tank just yesterday, and that one in the background right there already has quite a bit of new growth. It's kind of a reddish color. It's a little messed up because it was in a bag for a while, but yeah, this is already improving my plants in my tank, and my fish seem a bit happier as well. Yeah, so far I am quite impressed by this, especially for the price. It's very easy to set up and easy to install. It just works. Yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see this tank kind of grow into itself. Java Moss is pretty new, so that's normal, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think I'm definitely going to use the ability to move it up and down like that, and have some more like regular rooted plants in the back there in the filter area. This one I actually have this little inch plant. I have that growing down into that driftwood and like a hole in the center of it. So yeah, overall, definitely would highly recommend. This thing is pretty awesome.